back. We're back. We're back. It's good to be back. Let's see who joins us for a little chat and see what's going on with everyone, and have a good catch up with all our fans. So it's been quite a while since we've been away. I mean, we took a break for Ramadan, but we're back now, and it it's so hectic at the moment just in the garden. There's so much going on. So let's see who pops in for a bit of a chat with us. Um, Today we've been out building a trellis. So we built a trellis for um, my beans. Well, it's not a trellis; it's an arch. Um, so we've got Dean in the house. Dean, how are you doing, man? Thank you very much for coming in and joining us. Yes, it's back. It's back. So it's been ages. I know. It seemed we took a bit of a break for a while, and everyone's forgot. Everyone's completely forgotten about us. But yeah, it's just you and me. Oh man, it was an absolute nightmare yesterday. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Do you know? I've not had this car long. I only bought this car in February. Do you know, after my other car got written off, and it's hardly. Do you know? It's not been long at all. And so yesterday when we drove down, well, I left my family in Birmingham last weekend, and I went to pick them up yesterday. So I drove down, and about 12 miles before I got to Walsall, it was in standstill traffic. So the car was, in the car wasn't moving, and the engine just started overheating. So the temperature gauge moved all the way up to red, and I started panicking a little bit. So in yesterday's heat, I had the heaters blowing at me full blast, trying to cool the engine down. But once I got going again, the car, got some air blowing into the engine, and that cooled the engine down. I got to my destination, and then the car was completely just wouldn't start again. So called the AA out. The AA guy came out and he couldn't fix it. And eventually he got us a taxi. I think they got us this all happened about 2 o'clock. My plan was to get down there, pick everyone up, and get straight back home. But yeah, it didn't quite work out. So let's see who's joined us. Bobby, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Deadly0101, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I've seized the end. I could have very well done. And honestly, I'm gutted because it's the second. It's the second car. Well, I've hardly had this car for very long. It's not an old car either. It's only 17 plate. So it shouldn't be doing this sort of thing. Grow Shake, thank you very much for coming in. Phil, hope you're keeping well. Idaho Garden Girl, thank you very much for coming in. Nitin, the Lungi Gardener, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, thank you very much for coming in. It's been a while, hasn't it? You coming on and saying hello to everyone? Want to go on the other side? Go on. That's my poorly leg. So Bobby, what's everyone been up to in the garden at the moment? Because it's completely hectic. Can you pull that curtain shut? Because it's blocking the light, I think. Oh, you're gonna need to turn the lights on if you're gonna do that. No, that's fine. Turn the lights on. So yeah, what's everyone been up to? Because it's completely mental. It's time to plan everything out at the moment, isn't it? I mean, today what I've been building is an arch for my runner beans. So who else have we got in? Did you check the fluids before you? Do you? See, Dean, I checked the oil level was fine. The radiator water was fine. So I don't know what was going on. For some reason the engine, the fan on the engine, that's not coming on. So let's see. Rose Allotment Garden, Karen, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I'm currently at the allotment with the gang for drinkies and fish and chips. Oh, fish and chips sounds awesome. Give a shout out to the allotment arms. Hello, everyone at Rose Allotment Adventures. Hope you're having fun. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your fish and chips, because I definitely want some fish and chips. West London Gardener, how are you doing?
Tonight.
Thank you very much for coming in. Sit down, sit down, sit down.
Still having chops.
Yeah. Ow. What are you doing?
Choking me.
You're choking me. Is that what you're doing? I've been working past. Sit back, because you're blocking the whole screen.
I didn't even.
See,
Cheers.
I've been working the past few days, going back into the office tomorrow for the first time in 13 months. So, have you been working from home all this time?
Oh, you smell bad. 1 year.
I just had a shower, you cheeky monkey. So they're saying I smell, even though I literally just got out the shower. So I came in from the garden, had a shower.
It must be the shampoo smell. Well, it still stinks.
Everything needs to be in the garden now. A bit hectic. I know it's completely mental at the moment. My pumpkins are sort of bursting out the pots at the moment. They're all flowering in the pots, and they all need to get into the ground. Let's see. Been putting chilies out today in my chili grows.
Planting runner beans. I have been planting out runner beans, sweet corn, tomatoes, French beans, and courgettes, curry squash, and eating last year's chard and
Romanesque
leaves.
collie leaves.
Watering garlic, broad beans, and onions.
Bobby, you sound like you've been busy today then.
Yep.
Babe, can you get off? Stop doing that.
We had a water balloon fight today.
Get down. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I had a water balloon fight today. And I think Baba knocked over one of the plants.
Oh, yeah, I stood on one of the chilies while you were chasing. Well, you got me twice because she was chasing me, and I stood on one of the chili plants, and then she chased me again, and then I slipped and fell. Other arm. So are you turning the dead car into a greenhouse?
Yeah.
Okay, no, they can't see that. It don't matter. What are you doing, boy? Cool, B. Trust the children to let you know. I know. The thing is, I've just had a shower as well. Steve, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in.
What does that say? No,
so Bobby's been... No, don't read that one. How fantastic! My grandchildren love water balloons. See, yeah, they went crazy with the water balloons today. They got me proper good.
Yeah, I made...
Belinda, thank you very much for coming in.
I made 42 water balloons.
And how many did you splat on me? Because every time you threw one on me, it bounced on me and popped on the floor, didn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and I got a bowl. After all of our balloons finished, I just got a bowl and just threw it.
So, hello from Milton Keynes. My allotment is quite big, 15 pole, lots of work every day with the weed coming through and watering. Not allowed those hose. Unfortunately, I always enjoy your vlogs.
What's that?
I'm glad you're enjoying our videos. I don't know. I'm glad you're enjoying our videos, but can you see? One of the things about weeds is we use just loads and loads of mulch. Anytime we see weeds coming through, that's it. Loads of wood chips on top of it, loads of grass clippings on top of it. Anything that we can get our hands on just goes straight on top of it. And as soon as we do that, it squashes some of the weeds down. Don't do that. Things like the perennials, things like dandelions and stuff like that, that we're not getting through them. We always have to dig those things out. Go and get changed in the mask. Go. No. No, they haven't.
I've had my mask.
Okay, so Luna, thanks very much for joining us. Hope you're keeping well. Sky, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Been sorting through chicken manure from a friend. Oh, that sounds lovely. Brilliant. So, Ian, I hope you're keeping well. Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you and the family are well. Really appreciate the down to earth style you and Dean have. The thing is, one of the things that I don't like about people doing YouTube and gardening and everything is, do you know, when they try and pretend that they're really hi-fi and fashion stuff like that. Most of us are down to just normal everyday sorts of people, and just let that come across. I think it looks cool, and I love working with Dean as well. I've met up with him a few times, and this last time it was a good laugh as well. You know, we had a good laugh, and Brian's got such a dry sense of humour as well. He'll drop one-liners in, and it'll take you a minute to click at actually what he's just said. And yeah, it was a really enjoyable day. It's more like a day out with friends than working on a project. What do you say, Dean? Um, so let's see who else has come in. Loads of allotments are banning hoses due to Legionella. Is there been an outbreak or something at the moment, Steve? Jomi, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much for coming in. Sky saying Dad's been at work. I got in trouble in that UK-based Facebook composting group for suggesting mulch for weeds. They threatened to boot me as mulching, looked down upon there for so. Hey, which Facebook group? You're not talking about keep calm and make compost here. That one. That they're normally quite laid back, because I talk about mulching for weeds all the time in that. And well, to be honest with you, I've recently calmed down on a lot of the groups. I don't have the time to spend as much in most of the groups, but they're supposed to be quite relaxed. New chicken manure would have had bits of plastic and stuff in it, not going in my compost heap. Chicken manure, that would have made your eyes water though. Fish with Bish. Bish, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. At work again this weekend, brother. When are you available again? Bish, probably in the summer. I don't know what's happening with my car at the moment. My car could well and truly be dead, and if it is, I'm gonna be absolutely gutted. Maybe a new engine in my car. Let's see. Let's see what's happening with it, because it could be the head gasket that's gone. Now we've got the main man here now, so he's gonna give you some gardening advice. You're gonna tell them what we planted today. Where are you going? Where are you going?
He's going underneath to hide.
Okay. There's been a report that standing water within those hoses will develop the disease. Within the hoses? What about all the standing water in the barrels and stuff like that? Aren't they worried about that? And what happened last weekend? Last weekend I was hoping to meet up with Bish and maybe go and do some fishing with him. But,
when?
But
When?
in the summer. It's gonna happen in the summer now.
Can I come?
Yes. I'll come up to you in the summer. Bish, you're more than welcome anytime. We're all, our doors are always open for you, man. So then, so best thing to do is drain the hose pipe and wrap it up. Then it won't stand. You enjoying your biscuit? What are you doing?
I think
head gasket isn't a new engine, but it isn't a cheap fix. No, if they're gonna skim it, and seal it again, then hopefully it won't be. But if sometimes you can pick up a second-hand engine for a similar sort of cost. What are you doing? Okay. So
Why did you take my biscuit?
I didn't take your biscuit anywhere.
You took my youth biscuit.
So Bish's gonna get back to work. Bish, you take care, and I'll see you soon, man. I'll speak to you soon. Don't crop me now. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Just don't drink out of the pipes or bucket. Hey, where's the white ninja? He's not here. He hasn't been in for ages.
Why?
When is the making?
It's what you want ninja.
When is the making with nothing series or smashing engines with nothing? See, my petrol lawnmower. Do you know my petrol lawnmower? It died last year. Similar sort of problem. So I got a new engine for it. Replaced the engine. I recorded a video on replacing the engine. I was gonna post that. I was gonna post that when I got a chance, but I didn't get a chance to do it. And then this time, that replacement engine, only a couple of days ago, that one seized up, and that one's completely gone as well. So I'm not having a good run with engines at the minute. What are you doing, man? Is that a Bangladesh cricket top? It's not. It's a Palestinian football team football top.
That's football one.
Yeah, it's a football top.
I'm gonna buy one.
I can't believe he's keeping up with the chat. What's happened? See, I think it's because I've got it on top chat, so I must be missing people's comments. I've just realised. I've just realised I've got it on top chat, so let me get it on live chat, and then I won't. Then I won't miss people's comments either. So if I've missed your comment, then that's probably why.
Live chat again.
It's very fresh and has that farm smell still.
I'm Patty.
Yeah, the ammonia in fresh chicken. What you do? What? Why are you showing them your foot?
Talking to them.
Your foot's not talking to them. Get it down. Light triggers broom. It's 4 new heads and 4 handles, but 4 new heads and 8 handles, but it's the same broom that he's had for the last 10 years. Jen, I don't know what he's doing. He's got his legs sticking up at the moment now. So if anyone's new to the live chat and is trying to figure out what's going on, yeah, this is what happens in our live chats. Just like our videos, when we're videoing, we get these little monkeys popping in and doing their little cameo bits, or just trying to take over the show.
But I have no idea.
So just went to our local beach. I was tempted to bring some seaweed home. Oh, Johnny, that's what I did, you know. That's what I did. Last time I went to Scarborough, I just filled up just before we were heading home. Don't just press things. You're not pressing things. No, you're not pressing things. I'll call your mum. I'll call your mum if you do that. Shouldn't I?
I'm just pressing 1.
No, don't press 1. So yeah, look what you've done now.
That.
So yeah, last time I went to Scarborough, we just filled up 2 carry bags just before we came home, and everyone just combed the beach, filling up whatever bits of seaweed that we could find, and came home with a couple of bags full. But make sure you double bag it, because if you just let the seaweed, just use a single bag, because all the juices flow through the car, and your car stinks for weeks afterwards. Eddie K did the eggs hatch. I've got a video coming on that. Very shortly. I'll be honest. It wasn't a great result. It was a very poor result, to be honest with you. Really, I'm really. It's quite upsetting actually, because I had to watch some. What, are you licking me? Don't lick me, man. Because I had to watch some of the chicks breaking through the shell. You know, they're pipped. They've got the beaks through the shell, and you know, I had to watch them suffocate because they couldn't get out their eggshell. So it was quite emotional. That it was really upsetting actually. I love it. It's great seeing them have fun and join in.
The chicks are massive now.
The chicks are massive now.
They were tiny before.
Yeah, they were tiny when you went away, but you were away for a week.
Yeah, but
so
in another week they didn't.
Cameo, good 80s. I need to get some seaweed. It's great around Brassica apparently. No, he's licking me.
Give me 5 minutes.
Okay.
I don't want to go.
You don't want to go. You're gonna. Well, you better behave, otherwise you're in trouble. Seaweed. Do you know if you can get loads of it? It's absolutely brilliant to mulch your gardens with. Along, especially around the east coast, that sort of area, around Hull. They used to. A lot of the old farmers, they used to pull loads of seaweed up and mulch the whole farms and fields with it, and that's why a lot of the fields around there are really lush. But if you can't get loads of it, just bring a little bit back and turn it into liquid feed, and then that'll go a lot further.
Right.
How did the other batch get on, mate? We're still waiting with them, so they're sat under. So Nick sent me a second. Nick sent me 6 more eggs, and this time I've dropped the incubator and I've given them to one of my hens to look after, and she's just sitting on them. So we're still we're about a week away for them.
Yeah, I'm scared of that chicken. I saw an egg, but I was too scared to get it.
So one of the reasons I haven't hatched my own is I don't want to have disasters. Also, don't want to face the reality of dealing with cockerels.
Who's that? What are 6 right there?
I did the same with seaweed. Got about 5 carry bags. Yes.
What are 6 right there?
What 6? I can't see a 6. Oh, that's a spanner. It's a spanner.
What is spanner right there?
Why is there a spanner? Because Dean's gonna fix things.
But is it going to say hello to me?
Yeah, he can say hello to you.
Dean, say hello to Zaki.
I did the same with seaweed. Got about 5 carry bags full just before we left the sea houses. You need a license to harvest seaweed when it's attached. See, I just pick it up off the beach, you know, the stuff that you can find lying around. What did you do there?
He ate it.
You know. This is what happens, man. Why are you screaming?
Ow! Ow, right there.
Your temper's not. Your temper's getting a bit bad. See there, he said, "Hey Zaki." There you go. He said hello to you.
Hello, Spanner. Hello, Spanner.
There you go, mate.
It said, "Hey, Zaki."
He said, "Hey Zaki," and you said, "Hey Spanner." Guys, if you haven't hit that like for me, please hit the like button. Let's get that like count up a little bit.
Spanner said hello to me. It said, "Hey, Zaki."
You must wash the salt off first.
That's not my name.
Yeah, give it a good rinse. Lost Gardens of Heligan bring tractors and trailers up from the local beaches.
Help!
That's one garden that I want to visit. I want to. I've seen videos of that. What are you doing?
Trying to get this hair off your back.
Leave the hair on my back. Just pull. Don't pull that. That hurts. See, for those of you who are coming in first time and thinking what's going on, this is what's going on every night. So, which vegetables is best to start for a complete novices to garden? You can't go wrong with things like spinach. You can't go wrong with things like courgettes. Courgettes are really easy. If you get coriander, we'll say coriander in a minute. But if you get courgettes started, you just put them in the ground and leave them to it. They'll just they'll keep providing you with courgettes all through the season. You're not going to go much wrong with them. Potatoes, really easy. Peas are another one that are really easy. You can start all of these things now.
What are they laughing there?
They're laughing at you calling him a spanner.
They're laughing at me.
Yeah, they're laughing at you.
No, they're laughing.
Coriander,
They're
if you
laughing
like
at
herbs,
Spanner.
coriander's
Can
fantastic.
you read for
Go and check out my video on coriander. I did a really good video on coriander. Do go and have a look at that. Ian by the plot, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. You have two. It's absolutely amazing. And the kids are.
Is that Sidine? Yes, the Spanner.
Belinda, you take care, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for coming in and hanging out for a bit with us.
Hello, Spanners.
Look,
No.
Sky saying hello. Remember Sky came down.
Zero.
Sky saying hello to you. Remember Sky came and stayed at our house that day. She was playing. You were playing with her.
What? What, Sky?
Sky.
Sky and Elizabeth.
What?
Sky and Elizabeth.
Just call him Leslie Elizabeth.
Dean lost the spanner. Look, Johnny's a spanner as well.
Huh?
There's another spanner there. Look, G.
Danny, wait. Why am I Spanner too live?
Well, you shouldn't be putting the chicks on the floor, of course.
I was
If
playing
you put the
with
chicks
it.
on the floor, they are gonna poo.
I had to clean it up the second time.
Mm.
And I think it's that same chick that loves pooping on the
So, Rabia, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. We haven't been on since Ramadan. So this is the first time we're back. So in about 6 weeks. It's been about, I think it's been about 6 weeks, 7 weeks since we've been off.
10,000 weeks.
It's good to be back. Are you just trying to wait till your mum finishes namaz and then watch what happens? You're gonna be gone. Nick, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Very nice to see you. Hope you're keeping well. I'm having fun with this little. Ow! Hey, what? So you're standing on me. You want your own live stream, don't you? So I got. Well, anyway, back to what I was planting today. So I got my. Can you stop licking me? Catherine, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I'm working from home, so just a quick hello between speaking with patients. Catherine, hope you're keeping well.
Zacky's live.
Zacky's live, you read that? Well done. So he just wants to take over.
My live again.
Just saw your Nick's allotment diary and Tony's video. The plot's looking great.
Tony. Where's Tony?
Tony's not here actually.
Why?
I don't know.
Johnny.
Johnny, not Johnny. I've got 30 foot to dig up. Prepare a hedge. What's the best way to prepare ground for clay over a few months? If you've got time with clay, then I mean what I like.
Why is it unpaused?
It's not unpaused. Well, it's probably because you paused it.
Time to say bye-bye.
There you go.
No.
There you go. Off you. Bye. Now we're going to get a bit more peace and quiet, and we might get a bit more sane, but with me around, let's see. So best way to prepare clay. I add loads. The thing with clay is it's full of minerals, and what you need to do is just add loads and loads of organic matter to it. So as much grass clippings, hedge trimmings, any wood chips that you can get, just lay that on top and let the worms work that in. If you can sow things like radishes and long-rooted plants, that'll go in and break the plants in. Now, if you can plant radishes, let that grow in, and as soon as it's grown quite a bit, lop it off just below the soil level, and take the top part off, compost that, and leave the rest of the root in the ground, and that's just going to rot in the ground, and then over the course of a few months, it's going to be eaten by worms and slugs, and everything will come and eat it. and then that will just create like a corridor of organic matter. And if you can keep doing that with loads and loads of other plants, and use different size roots as well, so long, sharp roots, straggly roots as well, and then you get you get that effect at different levels, and that helps break your soil up. I mean, that's one of the things that I love the use of cover crops to break soil up and improve soil. So that's what I'd recommend. uh, Little Farmers Farm, Tony, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. It looks like a lot of people have those spanners. We've got lots of spanners in the house now, so that, yeah, there's quite a lot of spanners actually. Attic, where can I buy seeds from? What type of seeds are you looking for? I mean, I buy a lot of seeds from a company called Premier Seeds Direct. They're pretty good value for money. They deliver, so I just buy from them on eBay. Otherwise, Wilco's is a really good bet for a lot of people from here. Will use Wilco's. If you want to spend some more money, you can use things like Thompson and Morgan and stuff like that. But it depends on what seeds you're after as well. Where you based, sometimes gardening mags give good value for money, and also supermarkets. Yeah, gardening mags, you get some good information as well as a few packets of seeds. And that reminds me, on the 15th, there's going to be Garden News magazine. So I write a monthly column in Garden News magazine, and on the 15th, the issue is going to be in the shops on the 15th. It's going to be the 19th, I think. That issue is going to be have a column in it, and it's going to be about our trip to Brian. So it's going to feature Dean's Lost the Plot. So Dean from Dean's Lost the Plot, Brian from Allotment Life, and it's going to be a little conversation about our project there. So if anyone does want to have a look at that, then it's there as well. So where are you based? Sometimes I've read that one. What was the name of the site you just mentioned? So I just buy from eBay, Premier Seeds Direct. Is it a monthly? Do you know what I mean? It's been a monthly column since. So I think it's going to be this June is my 11th or 12th article. So every month I've been writing in that magazine. So I think I get the second to last week of the month I'm in. Yeah. So yeah, it's doing all right. I mean, they're not paying me. So but hopefully it'd be good if I could get a paid column. That'd be nice. So yeah, Dean, definitely get a copy for that, because it's got all your, well, I didn't take many pictures on that day, you did, so it's got all your photographs in there. Little Farmer's Farm. I was just saying that it was difficult for me to watch the video, no chance of self-edit. Nick, tell us about what you've been up to, because this sounds interesting. If you're on Tony's video, so that'll be good. I want to get down there and check that video out. So yeah, John, it's been there for a good few months. So what thief? Who's a thief? I'm missing Dean. I'm not sure what that's about. I follow Rekka. She's got a slot in Gardener's World magazine. Rekka, I don't know who she is, but it'd be interesting to see that magazine as well.
I give Mum's phone back.
No, you're gonna sit down and talk for a bit. Come on the other side. Oh, you're gonna sit on. You insist on sitting on my forward leg. Okay. So could you do a special on the turmeric?
Or which one's your
please? I'm really interested in growing it. I could do something on turmeric. Actually, I could. We got some turmeric we're planning. Yeah,
What?
let me have a think, Tony, and I'll think how I can get it worked in because where I don't know if because of lockdown and everything, it's been hard to get roots. But this year I think we've got a couple of plants. I don't know what stage they're at. I'd have to check. So Laura, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. The girl gardener's here. Thank you very much for coming in. She's
She
really
came
big.
in before.
She came in before and I missed her. Sorry. So that's me told. Yeah, so she's quite big on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, there's someone to follow as well. Stingray Steve, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in.
Cool. His nickname is alliteration.
See, I'm getting lessons in grammar there as well.
I'm saying at school.
Oh man. So I thought it was a good talk. I wanna. Nick, were you on Tony's channel or were you on your own channel? Because I want to go and have a look at this now. So what else have we got?
Dad, can I do something?
Stingray Steve's calling you a smart kid. He is a smart kid, isn't it? I learned so much from your channel already. That's good. That's good to hear. That's what we're here for. So just got in from watering tomatoes, beetroot, potatoes, and chard. Suddenly everything is growing. It's nice now that the weather's starting to perk up and everything just seems to be coming to life. One thing that I noticed was we're getting a lot of green fly. We don't normally get as many green flies, but we're get. Just let me see what's going on. I can hear some kids screaming. Go downstairs. Okay. If you're gonna, you don't argue about it. Oh, sorry about that. So, the joys of parenting. They get into that age now where they are starting to argue a little bit more. So, Yusuf, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. A flying visit. Are you at work? Are you at work? Jay, wa alaikum assalam. Wish you all the best in your growing season, inshallah. My chilies put in the greenhouse, fantastic. I planted my chilies out into the greenhouse during this week, so a lot of my stuff's out there as well. This might be off topic, but do you have any advice on getting rid of fungal gnats? They came out of the compost bags I bought, and the larvae, and not eating my seedlings from the roots. The fungus gnats shouldn't be eating your plants. They shouldn't be harming the plants. They should just be living in the compost and eating the dead or dying matter. So they shouldn't be harming your plants. You could try neem oil on it. It's 95 degrees outside. Can't water till evening. I'm in southwest Florida. 95 degrees. What's that in new money? What's that in Celsius? Does anyone know? So, girl gardener, that's a great question. I think I have this issue, fungal gnat. See, yeah, I don't think they should be eating your plants as such, but they're just a bit of a nuisance. Me and Nick had a meet up on Thursday because we were both off work. Good round trip with Nick, and I loved his wild chives. Wild chives, nice. Have your chives started flowering? Chives are brilliant for bringing in bumblebees and stuff as well. Absolutely covered in greenfly while weeding today. It's gone from being really wet to really dry, and I think that dry weather, the sudden spike in growth, all that new fresh growth, the greenflies are loving it. I've seen a few ladybirds starting to come in, but not enough to be able to have an impact on the greenfly. I don't think. But the greenfly larvae, they're causing some right damage in my greenhouse. They finished off my chili aubergines the first time I sowed them, and then I had to sow them again. And now I've got the aubergines planted out into the greenhouse. But I went in on a couple of the plants, and the leaves were just covered in greenfly. So what I did was, just squish them. You know, they actually make a funny sound when you squish them. it's a bit. I know it's a bit perverse, but you can go in and squish them, and that helps keep them down. So act as a predator yourself, if ladybirds and things like that aren't coming in. But there's an ant's nest in my compost pile in my hotbed, and those ants are farming the greenfly, and just bringing them in. They're not letting them go away. The pollinators were all over Nick's chai flowers. Brian from Allotment Life's here. Brian, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Back home now. I've missed loads. Karen, you haven't missed much. It's just been me nattering. Don't worry. So I planted my Jerusalem artichokes last October. They're now 2 foot high. They're a really good plant. You just plant them once and then just forget about them and just pick them as you need them. And you can pick them throughout you can harvest all the way through the season as well. And if you don't harvest them, they'll just grow again next year and give you more Jerusalem artichokes. I think they're a lovely one. I've grown dragon fruit, pineapples, oranges, and stuff like that. Dragon fruit. Okay, we don't quite get warm enough for those sorts of exotics, but I'd love to be able to grow pineapples, especially here, and some nice oranges as well. That'd be nice. Brian's not too bad. Brian, are you home now? So I think Sam's been here for a while, and I haven't said hello to Sam. Sam, I hope you're keeping well, mate. Thanks very much for coming in. Sam, you did a grand job on those runner beans and sweet corn. He did a video on Facebook for very fast motion on those sweet corn. But your plants are massive. See, I planted some sweet corn plants out today, and they were about that big. I've had really poor germination rates with sweet corn this year, so I think I've got 12 about 15 plants from 55 seeds. So the first sowing, not a single plant germinated, not a single seed germinated, or 3 germinated and they didn't make it. So I did a second sowing, and I put them on a bit of tissue in a plastic tub. And they all germinated, so I transferred them into soil about a week and a half ago, and they're about that big. So I planted those out today, hoping that they'll get themselves established in the ground before, and I won't have to disturb their roots too much. So hopefully they'll come good. But Nitin gave me a tray full of sweet corn when I was down at his garden last week. So I've got about 26 plants of purple sweet corn or red sweet corn, and I'm going to be planting those out in the next day or two. Dean, you spoke too soon. You said I was keeping up with the chat. I'm falling a bit behind at the moment. Let's see who else has come in. Chive flower vinegar. See, that's one that you told me about, and that's one that I need to try. Sherry K, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. It's been a real scorcher here today. It's lovely at the moment. What sort of temperatures were you hitting? I've limited space to do my soil from house leftovers. How can I do my soil if I have limited space? When you say do your soils, are you talking about making compost? Is there a Bangla name for Jerusalem artichoke? I don't think there is. It's not mucky. It's not those kind of family. It's not the elephant ear family. They're a completely different type of vegetable. And they're from the sunflower family. I grow my coriander for the first time this year. How do you harvest? You take a few leaves from each plant, or take the whole plant at a time. Ian, you can do both. I mean, one of the things that we do is we'll start on one side of the tray, so we'll take like a handful from one side, and then just work our way across. And by the time we get to the other side, this side's growing again. Um, or you can just, like you say, pick a few. But if you pick a few, if it gets too hot, your plants might bolt. That's the only thing. So if it was early on in the season, picking a few would be a good idea. But if you're at this sort of time in the season, cut plants back, and they'll regrow, and they'll give you a second crop, even a third crop. Sorry, lost signal down at the allotments. Watering. We need to water our garden. We did a lot of planting out today. So sweet corn went in. One set of runner beans went in. I've got to get my runner bean arch built around my potatoes and get some runner beans down there in. Where else? I've got we got some more onions out. We got some more bush. Not the runner beans, but the shorter dwarf beans. Some tomatoes planted out. So full on planting at the minute. Um, I peeled some mulch back because I was going to grow brassicas. Brassicas don't seem to do so well when I've got mulched them with wood chips. So I peeled that back, and I didn't plant my brassicas for a couple of days. And the day I peeled the mulch back, the soil was really, it was really lush and really moist. And I left it for a couple of days, completely uncovered it in this scorching sun. And I came back, and I went to plant them today, and the soil was like concrete. It hardened up, and it was just complete like concrete. So that's one of the benefits of having mulch on the ground, especially in this summer. Make sure you've got your ground covered. Make sure you've got plenty of mulch on the ground. So we've got 45 people in the house, 35 likes, 1 dislike. If you haven't hit that like for me, please hit that like. I'd very much appreciate it. Got peat-free compost from Aldi. They suggested, pleased with the product. If you cut back chives now, they'll regrow and flower. Yeah, Aldi compost isn't that bad. But I got Lidl compost, not Aldi. Yeah. There's not an Aldi near us. But yeah, those Aldi, Lidl, the compost isn't that bad at all at the moment. I've seen it worse in years gone by, but this year it's been quite nice actually. But one thing I did notice was there was wood chips in it, but there were wood. It wasn't like wood from trees, or it looked like wood from actual bits of timber, or fencing or stuff like that. Um, so Brian got home yesterday and straight into the polytunnel. Brian, you're an absolute legend, man. Absolute legend. That's amazing. And so Brandon's outdoor adventures coming in with a $10 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind of you, Brandon. I hope you're keeping well, mate. Tell us what you've been up to. Hope everything's going good. Let's see. I had 100% germination rate for aubergine plants, but now I've planted them, they've disappeared. Have you had greenfly or any sort of pest issues? Do you know when you plant them out? Sometimes aubergines can get attacked by slugs. Love them, greenfly love them. They seem to be an absolute magnet for greenfly. Rahab Mir, I want to grow garlic. Plant your garlic in about October time, so you're quite early to plant garlic. Sherry, when should I plant my garlic? When should I harvest my garlic, rather? I sort of normally about this time I'm getting signs of rust happening on my garlic, but this year there's no garlic rust happening, which is one thing that I'm happy about. But what I'm going to be doing is my garlic's looking nice and lush and nice and green at the moment. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be waiting for the garlic to start turning yellow a little bit. It might take another 4 or 5 weeks before it does. And once it starts turning yellow and it starts dying back, then I'll pull my garlic. But we've stopped. We're gonna. I mean, we decided we're not gonna buy any more garlic from the shop. So what we'll do is, I'm gonna start clearing a couple of little patches in the middle of my garlic bed, and plant something else in the middle of the garlic. So while that's getting established, um, the the rest of the garlic will be ready to pull out. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put a couple of courgettes, maybe a couple of tomatoes in. So what I'll do is in my garlic bed's probably about 2 meters by 2 meters, so it's about 4 meters. Yeah, 4 meters squared, and I'm just gonna clear a hole big enough to plant a courgette plant, big enough to plant a tomato plant, plant my tomato into there, and then once they get established, then I'll pull the rest of the garlic, and then those plants can have the bed. Agro red sweet corn a few years ago. The variety I used took ages to grow here in Leeds, and I only got one decent crop. Having said that, the sweet corn cob was gorgeous. See, Bobby, Nitin gave me the plants, so he's done all the hard work for me. I just need to stick it in the ground. I see Guru, Dean, and Motin did a fantastic job on frying at Brian's. Yeah, Nick. Well, I was talking about that earlier. I had a really good time working at Brian's place. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, really enjoyed working there. It was good. It was just like meeting up. You know, it was more like meeting up with a bunch of friends rather than anything else. I see Tony, the legend from Simplify Gardening, has turned up, and massive congratulations to Tony. He's just passed 250,000 subscribers. So if you don't know Tony, go and say hello to him. And we were talking about this. Me and Dean were talking about this. For a guy with a channel that size, right, and he's spending time with he's spending time with everyone else. He's giving everyone else advice. Absolute legend. um, what we so 5 more happy thumbs needed. Come on, have I fallen back in the chat? I think I'm falling back in the chat. When should the grass and vegetables be watered? If I can water once a day. Some say grass and vegetables garden timing is different. Garden should be afternoon. They say. Um, see, water when it suits you. When you've got the time to water, that's when the best time for you to water is. But if you've got flexibility about when you can water, um, depends on. There's a couple of advantages of watering in the daytime and compared to in the evening. If you water in the daytime, if you water first thing in the morning, then if you get any water on the leaves, or if you've got any, especially with things that don't like humidity, the plants will have a chance to dry off in the day with the sun, and um, if you water in the evening, you're not going to lose as much water to evaporation. The water's going to soak into the soil, but it's going to create an atmosphere for slugs. So you've got to do that trade off, whichever work. But watering when it's best for you is the best time for you to water. You know, because some people go to their allotments after they finish work, and they can only water probably 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and it. Yeah, if that's the time that it's best for you, then that's the time for you to water. So once again, thanks Brandon for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Very kind indeed. So did your avocados survive? Mine are looking really good. I think Tony's had avocado harvests in the UK. Karen Trumpeter here from Ledbury, Herefordshire. Karen, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for coming in and spending some time with us. Greetings from Canada. Wanting to grow potatoes. Let's see what that says. In our tiny garden, I picked up 15 free good grade pails to grow crop topping up with soil and compost wood chips. Thanks for your tips and experience. You're very welcome indeed. I'm glad to help. Do you know, I love it when someone who's growing for the first time says to me that they've benefited. It really gives me a buzz. But so thank you. Henrik, I hope you're not too late. We're not far from the end actually. So I hope you're keeping well, and I'm glad you came in. I gave them to a school for the children to continue to grow them on. I'll do some more at some other point. Tony, did you get a harvest of some avocados over here? Because I'm sure I think I might have asked you this before, but yeah, that would have been a bit of a legend. Somebody else, assalamu alaikum. Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. No, Tony, don't. Yeah, don't worry about it at all, man. You don't. Yeah, you come in when. Thing is, we do these live streams to catch up with everyone. Anyone who wants to pop in whenever they want, just pop in for 5 minutes and say hello. Yeah, that's awesome. I hope the family are well. Sam, they're all good. We got home fine. Yeah, we finally got home yesterday safely. Everyone had a good lie-in. I think the kids were sleeping till about 11, 12 o'clock today, which is strange because they're normally up at the crack of the dawn, especially on a weekend. So opposite of the watchers, I'm doing wood chips under my chicken run. When should it be ready to compost? See, if you're doing wood chips in your chicken run, throw in lots of leaves, lots of grass clippings, lots of any sorts of prunings that you can get. Chuck that in there as well, and let the chickens just turn that into compost. One of my neighbours brought me about 4 or 5 bags of beech leaves. He trimmed his hedge back, so he brought me the leaves of them. I just chucked them all into my chicken run, and they're turning that into compost for me. And depending, if don't let your wood chips dry out too much. Depending on if it's covered or if it's not, it might need a bit of water on there. But let it all compost down. I harvest probably about a ton bag every sort of 6 to 8 weeks ish as a rough guide. My chicken run is about 2.5 meters ish long. 2.5 meters by 2 meters. So yeah. But the mulch or the bedding material in the chicken run is at least a foot deep. Where I garden, watering in the dark to avoid evaporation. Yeah, see that's one of the advantages of watering at night time. Question for all YouTube here: what was a YouTube video that all YouTubers here? What was a YouTube video that surprised you in its success? I was thinking about this. Like some of the videos, I put some real effort into it, and they've completely flopped. Like I did a video the other day on soil testing, and we spent some time, testing for soil with the kids. And we did a few different types of soil tests, and that video just completely flopped. It's got hardly, well, less than 1,500 views, and I was thinking, what's gone on here? But then I've done videos like my composting video that just went viral. I think it's sitting just under 700,000 views at the minute. It's just gone completely mental. So I've been watching you for the past 12 months. You really opened my eyes to your knowledge. Thanks so much. Mitch, that's a really nice thing of you to say. Thank you very much for that. Hang on, where am I here? I think, Dean, I think I'm getting confused. Something's happened. Oh, that's nice. My mouse is frozen. So yeah, I think I'm confusing my laptop. Normally at the crack of dawn, especially on weekends, except for when Dean comes and you're out of bed at yeah. So when Dean comes, then I get up a little bit later. Uh, um, it's a shame they don't let you feed food. Phil, there's a few little tricks around that, right? So do you know, like a lot of stuff, just like with spinach and things that you're picking from the garden, just peel it outside. So what we do is when we pick a lettuce, we'll take all the outside leaves off and just chuck that to the chickens and let them deal with that. But the stuff from in the house, my worms are dealing with that for me. They're making a nice job for that. They're making a nice job on that. But talking of that, if anyone's seen my worm bin, it's like this massive IBC bin. So the top half of an IBC bin's cut into the bottom half, and it collect. I get like a few wheelbarrow loads of worm castings at a couple of times a year. Now you've seen those tap things that are on the IBC. Now I left that open because we were having so much water rain and it was just flooding, so I just let it all flow out. Now what seems to have happened is a rat's crawled up into that hole and died in that hole. And you can't go to the bottom of the garden and it stinks. It's rotting in there. And if anyone knows me, knows that I'm scared of rats. I'm proper scared of them. I found a dead rat in one of my compost piles not so long ago, and I didn't go down to that end of the garden for ages. So if anyone's having their dinner, you might not want to listen to this bit. So it's proper stinking at the moment, and I'm gonna have to go down there and I'm gonna have to empty all that all this half rotten food scraps down. I'm gonna clean it and then deal with this rotten dead rat thing. Ugh! Just thinking about it is making me sort of it is making me cringe. So Rahad, I've never done any gardening in my life and only started considering it because of you. I'm glad you're considering it. You should definitely get into it. It's fun. You can really enjoy it. It gets you in touch with nature and you grow some good food as well. Ian Naylor, I know you've been in for a while, mate, and I didn't say hello. I'm sorry about that. So thank you very much for coming in. I prepare my food outside and no problem. Yeah, there you go. See, Ian's answering. I treat all my lettuce as a harvest by removing outer leaves almost to core and then leave it to continue. Yeah. Would you feed your chickens with rat? Some people would I feed my chicken? The thing is, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this rat yet. I'm scared of having to deal with him. So let me deal with one thing at a time. I don't want to deal. I don't want to think about chickens eating rats at the moment. Yeah, he's not dead. He's not gonna hurt you. He's dead. Yeah, but he stinks, man. he proper stinks. That whole bottom end of the garden just reeks at the moment. I was building my runner bean arch just not far from it today, and it just reeks. Oh man, I'm sorry if I've put anyone off their dinner or anything like that. I don't envy you there, mate. Sounds unpleasant at best. Jen, I'm not looking forward to it. Tony, there's a rat in Steve. There's a rat in my compost. Wildlife gardener Tracy Pye, thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Hi, Jommy. No, I don't know Tony Pye. Is a common name. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're keeping well. I've lost myself in the chat again. Deep fried rats. What are we talking about? Where's this chat gone now? See, loads of people. Do you know, as soon as I started talking about this rat, loads of people have just left the conversation. They must have equal a phobia as me. um, um, so who's Tony Pie, John? My chickens eat mice. I have a video on my channel about it. So yeah, if you wanna see chickens eating mice, go and check out Phil at Grow Shake's channel. He's got chickens eating mice. Uh, oh man. um, Smells won't hurt you either. Don't become a firefighter. Tony, I don't. Do you know, like most things, I don't. I'm not worried about. But rats are one of those things that just make me. Yeah. Uh, See, that's the thing about a phobia. They don't make sense. They just complete. Yeah, they don't make sense at all. Um. See, Officer of the Witches. No, it's not. Uh, Turn the rat into compost ASAP. Oh man. See, I'm sure there's going to be some good rat juice coming out. Maybe you can use that as fertilizer. Uh, just gonna have to pot a ratatouille. Uh, we had a rat visiting our bird feeder. Didn't go out. But got see Jen. I'm like that. I'm like that. Yeah, that's me. Uh, check your Henrik. I will check. Let me finish this and I'll have a look. Or do you want me to check it now? Can imagine you in a sewer rescue. Tony, I'll hold the ladders. You can climb down. Tony Pie trained me about teaching. Oh, I thought it was someone. I thought it was like a celebrity or something. um, Throw a pile of wood chips on top of the rat and ignore it. Uh, he's in the Sherry's in the he's in the collector for where I collect all my worm juice. So he's in the hole of my worm juice, so I can see his tail sticking out and his and the bottom end. You see, the only reason that I discovered this rat in there was because the water wasn't flowing out. So I started poking about, and then I saw his tail, and I thought it was like a worm or something at first that might have died. So I tried pulling it out, and then yeah. Aliya, Yubi wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Meat in the compost is very good. See, uh, will will there be a soil testing part 2? Yes, there will. I just need to finish filming the last sort of 30 seconds, and then I can publish it. The second part's filmed. It's just the last 30 seconds that I need to do, and then it can go. Is there a way to fully eliminate the chicken coop smell? My chicken coop is in the city. I have 40 chickens in 30 square meter. 40 chickens in 30 square meters. That's plenty of space for them. Deep bedding, really deep bedding. My chicken coop doesn't smell. I clean my chicken coop. Actually, the coop I clean about once a week. But that always has about 3 inches of wood shavings in it. So it's, I mean, sawdust, wood shavings, hay, whatever you're going to use, it has a good deep layer of that. So it's always clean in there. And then the run of the chicken run is just has at least a foot of wood chips in there, and then I'm throwing in all the other scraps. As long as it's not soaking, it won't stink. As long as that stuff's soaking up all the gunk, then it should be fine. I'm the boss. I have a group of that. Sherry's gonna have nightmares. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have nightmares thinking about this rat. Now I've talked about him enough. I'm gonna have to deal with him. If you guys want pictures, I'll put some pictures up. Is it acceptable or normal if a 35 chicken makes 15 eggs a day? They're between 10 to 15 months old. Okay, they should. What kind of chickens are they, first of all? Depends on the type of chickens. Some chickens will lay an egg every single day, for most of the year. Some chickens will lay an egg every other day, so it depends on your breed. If they're normally red laying hens, then 15 eggs from 35 chickens is not very good. I'd expect at least 25-ish, 20, 25, if they're the red laying eggs. But 10 to 15 months is sort of coming up to the peak laying eggs. Uh, um, Derek, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. If your chickens have less than a meter square each, no wonder you won't get many eggs. Um, the eggs will produce it regardless of whether they've got that extra space or not. Just think, the variety of the chicken will matter. The food they're eating will matter as well. So the hybrid hens, yeah, the hybrid hens will produce. They're just egg laying machines. Uh, so the closed chicken run is close to is 20 square meter. Right, been listening. I've been in the bath. Did you pull a rat off one every single? Did you really pull a rat off? Eh? Dean, I haven't dealt with a rat yet. Unless you want to come down and sort him out for me. Um, Actually, if anyone likes rats, you can actually come down and have the experience at my family garden of coming down and removing a rat from my compost bin. If that's the sort of thing you're into. Does it have it burn in the air just like when you go down to that end of the garden, you can actually taste his fragrance in the air. Um, so that could be a brilliant one. That so the next giveaway is you get to come and clean my rat for me. I had 25 chickens and they were making 16 eggs a day. I bought 13 more. Numbers stay the same. They got sick in winter and dropped to 5. So how many chickens have you got? See, I bought 13 more and the numbers stay the same. They got sick in winter and dropped to 5. See, winter the time they're going to lay less eggs anyway because they lay according to daylight hours. So if you want to produce eggs or a lot of eggs in the winter, then you need to get some lighting in there and give them about 12 hours of daylight a day. Catherine Ivy, you should. How are you doing? You should change. You should charge for the experience of rat removal. It might be melted rat skeleton with a bit of rat juice by the time it gets to the raffle. By the way, the little snake I did see is harm. Okay, see they'd be good rat control. You know, having a few snakes about. But I suppose that they'd cause a different issue completely. Um, are you cleaning the chickens out every day? Is that to me or is that to someone else? I clean my chickens out once a week. Bet the neighbours love the smell of rotten rat. If he's a rat skeleton, keep it. I'm not keeping a rat skeleton. It's not happening. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Could you do a garden tour, new subscriber, and learn a lot from your content? I could do. Let's see if I get some time. I've got a few videos sort of half made. I'm trying to get those finished and getting those out before I lose the time on them. When adders laid eggs and hatched, I never had a rat problem. This was in my compost bin. When did you have adders? I've never seen an adder. But Haifa, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. I put lighting in, it increased to 20 at the first day and then stayed the same. The eggshell got weird with light, so I stopped it. If the eggshell's getting weird, are you feeding them enough calcium? Are they getting enough calcium in the diet? Are they getting enough? Yeah. But wintertime, generally everything slows down. So, um, 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. What country are you in? Depending on your daylight. Depending on when it's getting dark. If you're getting dark around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, having the light on at 8 p.m. is not really. It's not a good thing. You need to have the light on before it gets dark. So I watched your uncle's allotment video, the one who had the 2 plots. I need to watch again as my kids were in the room. But for what I watched, it was fantastic. See, I went down there to that allotment a few years ago in the summer, and that plot, he had pumpkins everywhere. Pumpkins. He had this cucumber that was massive, absolutely huge. It was like a marrow the size of this cucumber that was hanging down. He's got some serious talent, that man. But he's got so much experience. He's been growing in Bangladesh. He was farming. He's been over here. He's had that allotment for, I don't know, 20 plus years at least. But yeah, so he's got a lot of experience. It's nice to see you and your uncle talking and sharing tips about your plots. It was nice having a chat with him. Quite a few people have said do some videos in Bangla, and it was. I wouldn't be able to do a video on my own in Bangla. I'd need someone to talk to, so it gave me an opportunity to do that as well. And I've been put off by Roland Compost Rat. So Dean's come in with a new profile. What Monty doesn't know is my mate's like rat. What would you name a rat with a wooden leg? A pirate. What type of car insurance do rats usually have? Rodent insurance. Oh man. Oh no. So Dean, well done. See, John, you can blame Dean for throwing me off, completely throwing me off. Have you heard about the boy who didn't tell his family about his sick rat? He was keeping it a secret. Oh man, he's gonna keep doing this until I finish. I'd love to visit your uncle's allotment. Yeah, if you're in Birmingham, the I'm not sure of the name of the allotments actually, but they're in Walsall, so you can go check it out there. What's the best run ground for chickens? They seem to. It's like composted ground, not the grass. My chicken run isn't grass. No, my chicken run isn't grass. My chicken run is basically wood chips. It's at least a foot of wood chips. Do you know how rats fall for rat traps? It's such a cheesy setup. Oh man. Dean, naughty. All right, guys, we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. On that note, before Dean gets into any more rat jokes, I'm gonna call it a day here. So for everyone who's left a super chat, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again soon. So yeah, we will be back every Saturday at 8 o'clock at this time. So yeah, we'll see you then. But we'll see you on my videos. So I'm gonna leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.